your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey everybody, good evening to you as we join you here on this Tuesday night. It's pretty nice out there. A little bit of cloud cover around, but overall, things are pretty clear. Very comfortable, crisp and cool. You may have opened up those windows again, feeling those mid-50s right now. 57 in Champaign, 54 in Effingham. We will see our temperatures as we head through the overnight hours dipping even lower. We think down into the lower 50s here to start out as we head into tomorrow morning. But we will start to see those temperatures coming back up again through the late morning hours. We're up to 72 by noon. More about humidity returning in the forecast. WCIA3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
My daughter came running at me, and she's like, "That man hurt me."
Police are investigating after a mother says her child was dragged and bruised at a park, which she says the man accused of doing it also said to her daughter. Plus, a man is trying to clear his name, what he was accused of doing more than a decade ago.
This is just incompetence as far as I'm concerned.
And hundreds of voters were sent the wrong polling place information. How the county clerk says the misprint happened.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
I shouldn't have to worry about if she's safe when she's less than, 100 some yards from my house.
But that's exactly what one mother is scared about after police say a man grabbed her daughter by the arm and knocked her off her feet. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. This happened Sunday afternoon at a playground off Frost Avenue in Rantoul. WCIA3's Jen Lask spoke to the mother and police. She joins us live from the newsroom tonight. So Jen, tell us how this scary situation all unfolded.
Paul, the mom, Jennifer Dix, says her daughter made friends with some of the other kids in their neighborhood, one whose uncle had been outside with them at the playground. She let her daughter play with them and was horrified when she went back outside and saw bruises and scratches on her arm and grass stains from being knocked to the ground.
As soon as I got to the edge of the park over there, my daughter came running at me. And she's like, "That man hurt me, that man hurt me."
That man hurt me. The words no parent wants to hear. Jennifer Dix is still shaken up after seeing the bruise on her 10-year-old's arm.
She said he had grabbed her by her leg and was dragging her through the park.
Dix confronted the man, who she says was sitting in the grass drinking.
I'm like, "Why would you touch my child? What would possess you to think that you could put your hands on my kid?" And he just looked at me.
Dix says the man also made inappropriate comments to her daughter.
My daughter and the other kids are telling me that this man had threatened to duct tape them, kidnap them, kill them, told them that he killed the police for fun.
She called police to report what happened. They took pictures of her daughter's injuries and sent a report on to the state's attorney's office.
We are still trying to make contact with the suspect. He was not cooperative that night. His family was less than cooperative that night and continue to be that way.
As they investigate, Sergeant Rodney Sullivan wants other parents to hear this message. It's
an isolated incident. It's not that there's a random person going around trying to snatch little kids. It's an isolated incident with a known offender at this point. So it's definitely disturbing the way that he talked to these children. But like I said, it is an isolated incident.
As for Dix, she plans on watching her daughter closely at the playground from now on.
She's going to be 11 years old, and I have to now come to the park with her to make sure that, my kid can't play, 100 yards out of my backyard.
Police say they do not want to name the man until the state's attorney's office announces charges. They say they will update us on where the case goes from here. Live in the newsroom, Jen Lask, WCIA3, your local news leader.
It's hard to even put in perspective how infuriating this would be for a parent, that kind of situation to happen. All right, Jen, thanks. We have new details. A second person's been arrested in connection with human remains found in Vermilion County. 35-year-old Melinda Warfel of Paris has been charged with first-degree murder. In April, workers found remains on a property outside of Indianola. They were later identified as 30-year-old Anthony Rauch of Paris. On September 3rd, 24-year-old Dylan Steele was also charged with first-degree murder. The Sherman Police Department needs help identifying a man it says has been seen looking into windows. This man, take a look, was caught on security footage around the Flagland Park subdivision last night. They say no burglaries or thefts were reported, but if you have any information about what happened, call Sherman Police. A man who was convicted of sexual assault 20 years ago is trying to clear his name. Jason Matthews pleaded guilty in 2000. He was 17 at the time. He took a plea deal to avoid going to prison, but he says he never did any of what he's accused. The victim listed in the case also says it didn't happen.
Still, 20 years later, no one has spoken to me about any of this. If they would, it would be over. I just feel like they're really failing him. The justice system is failing him.
Yeah, I've been labeled a sex offender my entire adult life. And I spent my entire adult life proving that's not who I am.
Matthews was in court today to try to get the case removed from his record, but it was delayed until the end of October. The Decatur City Council is making some changes to police body cameras. The new additions will allow for better quality cameras and better audio. The original budget for the cameras was around $300,000. The city decided to spend an extra $12,000. These new additions will include wireless mic transmitters, HD cameras, and software to process open records or Freedom of Information requests. New at 10, Decatur's school board approved its budget for the upcoming school year tonight. Plus, as the district announced last week, the first half of the second quarter will continue to remain 100% remote learning. Parents are being asked to answer whether they'd be up for hybrid learning once that's an option again. That form is available now. It's set to make a decision for the second half of the second quarter by October 30th. Hundreds of registered voters in Champaign County were sent the wrong address for a polling location, causing confusion for some, leaving them wondering why they were told to go to someone's home to vote in the general election. This comes after a previous mistake by the Champaign County Clerk's office in August. All registered voters received early vote by mail application information for the general election with the wrong zip code. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen has more.
This letter was sent to voters from the Champaign County Clerk. It says,
Please read this letter carefully. Your new polling location name is East Bend Township Building.
While the voter registration card in the envelope had the correct address for the polling location, the voting notice letter did not. The incorrect polling place address leads to somebody's home in Foosland. The correct polling location for the East Bend Township Building is at 9 Main Street in Dewey. Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons says this mistake happened because the name of the building where the voters of East Bend had been voting for years was listed incorrectly as the Dewey Township Building. The misprint concerned voters like Bob Reynolds.
If I just moved here and registered to vote, and I got this letter, where would I drive? Out to somebody's residence out in the middle of the country?
Other voters who got the same letter believe this kind of mistake could have an effect on people who are unaware of what happened.
It's just causing mass confusion, a month before election time. People, they just need the correct information. There's no excuse for that to come out of an office like that.
Clerk Ammons says they are, quote, taking the necessary steps to clarify the issue, end quote, but did not specify how they're doing that. Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA3, your local news leader.
This is one of several mistakes made by the Champaign County Clerk's office this year. Clerk Aaron Ammons was reprimanded in March by the State Board of Elections for breaking the election code law. He instructed election judges to shut down 10 early voting locations. The problem was those votes were counted before Election Day. The State Board of Elections says it's against the law to do that because that's how elections can be manipulated. As a reminder, early voting in Champaign County starts Thursday at 8:30 a.m. It's at the gymnasium of the Brookins Administrative Building. The election is 6 weeks from tonight, and one of the closest races for Congress in the country could be right here in central Illinois. That's where Democrat Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan is trying once again to unseat incumbent Republican Rodney Davis. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell has the latest on a race that appears to be tightening in a year where public health is a top priority.
Forced candidates off script and kept many college voters off campus, changing the strategy in a close race. But both campaigns are projecting confidence heading down the stretch.
And as far as the campuses go, it's just going to look a little bit different. We're still doing everything that we need to do. We are in full-on voter registration mode on all the campuses, and it's going great.
A new poll paid for by Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan's campaign shows her closing the gap, trailing Congressman Rodney Davis by just 1 point with 6 weeks to go before the election. The Davis campaign would not release its internal polling, but said we're ahead and confident of our position heading into Election Day, pointing to national analysts Roll Call and Cook Political Report, who recently moved the race from a toss-up to lean Republican. In a year when candidates can't meet as many voters face-to-face, campaigns rely heavily on ads to break through. A Republican campaign ad tying Londrigan to Speaker Michael Madigan.
She's working with Mike Madigan.
And an ongoing federal corruption case.
Betsy's taken thousands from lobbyists under federal investigation.
You ought to know better if you want to be a member of Congress.
She pointed a finger back at Davis, who took campaign cash from the power company tied up in the case.
We do have an admittedly guilty party, and that's ComEd, who, by the way, has given my opponent, Rodney Davis, $40,000 in corporate PAC donations.
And Democrats hit back, linking Davis's votes on health care to checks from big donors.
Rodney Davis was handed nearly $200,000 in campaign contributions from Big Pharma.
And that ad war is only now just heating up as both campaigns try to find their best lines of attack against their opponent. One key question is, will voters in central Illinois blame President Trump for handling the pandemic, or credit him or trust him with handling the economic recovery? That same internal poll from the Dirksen Londrigan campaign showing Joe Biden with an early lead at this stage, 51% to President Trump's 44%. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
The first TV debate is right here on WCIA, together with our partners at WILL Public Radio, 1 week from Monday night on October 5th. Halloween is getting closer to the changes you could see because of COVID-19. Plus, one health district says it's gotten complaints about businesses not following mask guidelines, how it's trying to get them to comply. And Illini athletes now have something to look forward to, what the NCAA announced today.